What's up, guys? Swift here, covering everything Chicago Bears. I have a Tankathon update. I'm going to update you guys on the Bears' current draft position. Okay, the first thing I have to do is correct the people that are saying we are locked into the number 2 pick right now. Again, still not accurate because we still haven't had our bye week yet. We will show up as number 2. And we did have 4 big games help out our draft position today. The Jaguars win was the biggest. They pulled off a last-second victory over the Baltimore Ravens. This helped all of our draft picks, including our first-round pick and the second-rounder we have from the Ravens. Big win for the Jaguars. Love to see it. We were also helped out today by the Browns' overtime win against the Bucks and the Raiders' overtime win against the Seahawks. Both teams moved to 4 wins on the year, 1 win ahead of us even without the bye as far as draft order. So currently the board will show us a second. I explained last week why our pick would actually fall somewhere between 3 and 9. This week's loss, paired with wins by the Browns, Jaguars, Panthers, and Raiders, helped us even more. Currently, our pick would set somewhere between number 2 and number 5 overall. If the Steelers win tomorrow night, that would then fall to between number 2 and number 4. Now, the biggest thing most people miss is there are still 5 games left in this season. If the Bears win even one more game, that could potentially move our pick outside of the top 10. That's right, one more win means we are not picking second or third overall, and there are still 5 games left. There are still 13 teams in the NFL with 4 wins or less, and we don't hold the draft tiebreaker over a single one of them. So if we end up with the same amount of wins, our pick is below any other team we tie with as far as wins go. So what does that mean really? If we don't win another game this season, we will pick top 4 of the draft. That much we locked up today, as long as we don't win any more games though. We have the Packers next week, and then our bye week finally. After that, we have tough games versus the Eagles and Bills, but it's the NFL. Saying we have 0 chance to win another game would be crazy. We then finish the year with the Lions and Vikings. Both of these games are winnable when you consider the Lions just aren't that great, and the Vikings could potentially be resting most of their starters in the final game of the year. Imagine we have Justin Fields playing, and the Vikings are resting Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, and Dalvin Cook, among others. We can easily steal a couple more wins this year. But that's why I will be doing these weekly Tankathon updates, letting you know where our draft pick stands. This week's position is pretty much set in stone. I just explained it, but just in case, if the season were to end for the Bears today, we would pick between picks 2 and 5, securing a top 5 pick. If we win 2 more games, that pick could fall all the way down to number 14. So it's important that fans understand this, as too many people seem to be setting their sights on the Bears picking number 2 or number 3 and trading back for a haul of draft picks. First off, we haven't locked up that pick yet, and second, trades like that in the NFL are very rare, so we can't bank on it. Bottom line is, this loss, paired with the wins by the Panthers, Raiders, Browns, and Jaguars, definitely helped out our draft position today. But we still have a ways to go before we lock up a top 5 pick in the draft. We haven't even locked in a top 10 pick yet, but we are getting closer. As I've stated many times, I believe landing a top 3 pick would be huge for this franchise and could give this rebuild a much needed boost of talent. I know watching games like this are hard. None of us like seeing the Bears lose, but if there is a silver lining to this, next year's draft class has some difference makers at the top of the board, and if we do secure a top 3 or 5 pick, this defense and team overall can look much, much better next season. And that's without even talking about the $135 million we can spend in free agency on guys like Daron Payne, Marcus Davenport, Elgton Jenkins, Poona Ford, Dalvin Tomlinson, Javon Hargrave, Yannick Ngakoue, Saquon Barkley, Samson Ekubon, Isaiah Wynn, Orlando Brown. It goes on. There's a lot of talent in free agency, and this Bears team has a lot of different ways to improve this roster heading into next season. But by far the best way that this team can help itself become a playoff contender and a serious Super Bowl contender in the next couple of years would be landing a blue chip prospect at the top of this year's draft like Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, or trading back and acquiring multiple first-round picks. That all hinges on us ending up with a pick inside the top 3. Today we had a couple of things go our way when it comes to that. And as we move towards the future here, the rest of the games this year, I'm going to weekly update you guys, let us know where the draft position stands and what we need to root for each week. Tomorrow night, we are rooting for the Steelers to go ahead and beat the Colts. Either one of those games can potentially help us, but the Steelers winning would directly move our pick up this week. The bottom line is it all comes down to whether or not the Bears win or lose these remaining games. Like I said, a single win can severely affect our draft status, and I do believe the Bears will win 1 or 2 more games this year. It's still possible we can acquire a top 5 or top 10 pick if that happens, but I know a lot of fans have their eyes set on landing a top 5 pick and precisely a top 3 pick. In order for that to happen, we need a couple more things to break our way, but mostly we need to lose most of our games. 1 more win might not kill us, but 2 more wins definitely would kill any chances of picking in the top 5. I have one more update, guys, as it's looking like Darnell Mooney likely needs season-ending surgery to repair torn ligaments in his ankle. He will be seeking a second opinion tomorrow. He's going to have more tests done, but sources fear he suffered a season-ending ankle injury in today's loss. It's a big blow for Darnell Mooney, and I hope he gets better soon. None but love for you, Darnell. The tape is going to be rough to watch this week. I do have one injury update. Eddie Jackson did not have an Achilles injury. It is being reported that his injury is just a foot sprain. Anybody who watched the game with me or saw it live, a lot of people were speculating that it was going to be an Achilles injury. That would have kept Eddie Jackson out for a long time, even into next season. It looks like we dodged that, and at this time it's looking like a foot sprain. No update yet on Larry Borom. We'll have to wait till later in the week to hear more from that. Stay tuned, guys. I have tons coming. I appreciate everybody who watches these videos. Please hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.